Well, we just heard the budget from Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, and now what we're doing is we're putting the spotlight on the infrastructure sector as well as the sector of real estate, where there have been significant announcements made by the FM herself. First up, we are looking at the infrastructure space. We are joined by Parikshit Khanpal of HDFC. Good afternoon, Parikshit. Thank you so much for joining us. First up, what is your take, especially when you're looking at it from the lens of an infrastructure sector analyst? Slightly disappointed that there hasn't been an increase in the budget outlay?
So I read it a little differently. So I would say that we already have seen that 4 months have now technically gone in this financial year. So we expect there could have been some savings in this 4 year in terms of overall spend on infra. So from that standpoint, we were not expecting any major increases. We were of the belief that it will be in line with interim budget which was presented. So more or less, we are not disappointed, but it's at least the hope is that whatever was the savings, they are again reinvesting for the rest of the 8 months. So that way, directionally, I would say tactically the allocation might have gone up because at least they've not cut it. So they've maintained the current numbers which were presented in the interim budget.
So they've held on to the number in the interim budget. So you're not looking at it as any incremental negative. Now, the second question that comes is there were two states where all eyes were on, especially in terms of, infrastructure development. And yes, there was mention being made of both Andhra Pradesh as well as Bihar. So how do you look at this budget allocation over there? And which are the companies or stocks you believe could benefit from this particular allocation that the FM has mentioned?
So, these government has already been doing a lot of work in Bihar. Andhra, from the point of view of investments, has been lagging behind, and in the past there has been issues where payment issues have come up. But now I think this government, the state government, as well as support from the central government. So clearly, Andhra is one state which can see more investments coming in building out roads and housing and power. So clearly from the companies which have exposure in Andhra, so we see that a company listed space NCC is one name which clearly stands to benefit. Other names which we like in the sector are PNC, Ashoka, Buildcon, so some of the road players, because NHAI allocation remains in similar line with the interim budget, and with the pickup in award, we expect the road developers to benefit going ahead.
One particular feedback that we've received from a lot of road companies has been the fact that there has been quite a bit of competition, and NHAI ordering, especially in the last couple of quarters, was a bit slow. Do you now expect it to pick up? Any numbers that you have in store that you are anticipating from NHAI in terms of ordering for FY25?
See, NHAI budget expenditure has been at about 1.68 lakh crores, even so there is no change versus interim. My sense is that now, since the budget is behind and things will move into execution on the ground, so clearly the ordering will pick up. We expect that from end of third quarter of this financial year, somewhere post-monsoon, we'll start seeing picking up in ordering. The nature of ordering will clearly move towards more equity intensive toll. So we expect this year about 1 lakh crore of ordering happening from NHAI. About out of that, approximately 45 to 50,000 crores could be on toll. Another 35,000 in HAM, and balance will be in EPC. So clearly the competitive intensity will be lowest in toll, then followed by HAM, and then in EPC. Clearly the strong balance sheet players will benefit. Players who have back-to-back monetization platforms with sovereign wealth funds or other investors, so they clearly stand to benefit. We would see more of these platforms now forming up because there is clearly scarcity of this BOT toll assets in the market, and some of these investors who have platform are looking at chasing growth. So they'll clearly tie up with some of the EPC players, something like a forward purchase agreement, where they'll enter into an agreement that once these roads are ready, they'll buy these roads out. So we would stick with players which have strong balance sheet in the road segment. So clearly that would be a difference.
So which are your top picks as far as the road space is concerned? You mentioned that there could be JVs coming up in order to go ahead and bid for the assets that do come up as far as NHAI ordering is concerned. So how will you play the entire infra space?
So see, within the infra space, we like companies, especially in the road segment, companies like Ashoka, PNC, so G Infra. These are some of the companies which will be beneficiary. They have some kind of a platform with sovereign wealth fund, so clearly they will benefit. Within the clear-cut EPC space where there is not too much of equity exposure. So we like, beyond L&T, we like some of the companies like Kalpataru projects and then NCC. So technically, these are under the top 5 EPC players in India, and they are benefiting, like Kalpataru clearly benefits from the entire clean energy and transmission theme. NCC is a very diversified player, again, big presence in building, water, railways, transmissions across segments, and they also have presence in Andhra Pradesh. I think they'll benefit out of the ordering from Andhra Pradesh.
Right.
So some of these names, we expect them that they should do well.
Right. Thank you so much, Parikshit, and thank you so much for giving us the lowdown as far as the infra aspect of the budget was concerned. Thank you.